Hi, I'm Frank Finnerty from Egg Harbor Township Committee. I'm filling in for Mayor Sonny McCullough in the Mayor's Forum. And with my guest today is Donna Burns, Chairwoman of the Friends of Egg Harbor Township Dog Park. Donna is here today to talk about the Egg Harbor Township Dog Park and all its offers to all the Egg Harbor Township residents. But before we begin, I just want to say, Donna, you're one of the hardest working people that I know. I know this project that you took on many years ago was a struggle. There was many obstacles, many hurdles that you had to jump over to get there, but what a great facility. So now at this time, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the dog park.
Thank you, Frank. I appreciate your kind words. Well, started about 2009. I was driving every day to Ocean City Dog Park with my dogs and decided that it was a little bit too far to drive. And I thought maybe we could do better here in Egg Harbor Township and have our own dog park.
And why don't you just give a brief discussion of some of the things that you had to do in order to start the dog park, maybe a couple minutes on the different things you had to do in order to bring the dog park to Egg Harbor Township.
Well, I started out with coming to the mayor and asking him if there was a possibility that we could have a dog park in Egg Harbor Township. I spoke to a lot of different groups, senior citizen groups over at Grand Village and a few of the other areas in town where they have no place to take their dogs and they're not allowed to have fences for their dogs to be in their yards. So I went to the mayor and he wasn't sure that he could provide any help with that. So my next step is I went to the county, and the county offered us some land over on Pine Avenue. That didn't seem to work out, so we just kept trying to find the proper place for the dog park. And
after several years, you finally settled on the location where it's located now.
Yes.
At Veterans Field
yes.
area?
It took us a couple of years to find the right spot. And the mayor was very helpful, and Peter Miller was very helpful in finding this great spot for us. And then we decided that now that we have the land, we need to raise some funds. We did not want this to be a burden on the taxpayers, so we started having fundraisers.
And you had many of them.
We had many of those. We did all kinds of things.
Yeah,
we bagged groceries in the supermarket. We stood outside Super Bowl weekends. You know how cold it is in February,
yeah.
And collected funds. And we had pancakes for puppies.
Yeah.
We had pasta dinners. We had dog walks. We had all kinds of things.
Yeah. You must have had a real good team
we have a wonderful committee, wonderful, hard-working committee that has been with me a long time.
That really helps.
Yes.
They were fully committed, that
yes.
team that you put together.
Yes.
Yeah. And you must have many nights that you spent with them.
Yes.
In order to pull this off.
Nights and days, and yes.
It's probably one of the nicest dog parks in the area.
Oh, thank you so much.
It really is.
I appreciate that.
Who are the Friends of Egg Harbor Township Dog Park?
Well, that is our committee of 12. I have 2 retired teachers. I have a vet, Dr. Newkirk. I have a dog trainer, Lee Mann, Dog Days Academy. And I have my husband and myself and a few other people.
So, and this was the team that you had right from the very beginning?
We've gone through a few changes because it's a large commitment and not everybody can do that commitment. People have lives, they have children. So we've been through a couple different committee people, but the solid core of the group has been with me for 8 years.
Yeah, and I heard Dr. Newkirk on radio several times talking about the dog park, so he also helped promote it, it looks like.
Yes.
Yeah, because he was always on one of the local radio shows.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
He's very committed.
When the dog park was first revisited, what were you trying to accomplish? Not revision. What was your thinking about what you wanted to do with the dog park?
What I wanted to do was have an off-leash dog park for dogs to run around, have a great time, off-leash. So we needed a space large enough so we could have large dogs and small dogs.
And the location has worked out very well, hasn't it?
The location is perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
It's really perfect.
It's like almost in the heart of Egg Harbor Township.
Yes, yes.
How does the dog park look today after all your hard work?
The dog park, I think, looks wonderful. At the entrance of the dog park, we have memorial bricks. You could buy a brick and for your dog, for anyone. It's placed in the very entrance of the dog park. And the fencing is black, so it blends in with the landscape. When you drive by, you very rarely can actually see the dog park because everything blends in well. We tried to keep it as green as possible.
No, it does have a very nice look. I've gone into that entrance for various activities, you know, especially the sports activities. It's right on the right-hand side.
Yes.
It has a very nice look, and it looks like it's very active. People are utilizing the facilities.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
We have over 200 people registered now.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. And it's there for the right reason. People
Yes.
enjoy their dog. It seems like almost everyone has a dog today.
It's true.
From all different sizes. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I used to go knocking on doors when I was campaigning,
Uh-huh.
and almost every door I knocked on, there was a dog. Most of them were friendly.
Most of them, right?
Yeah, no, all of them, to be honest. I didn't get any problems with the dogs.
That's good. Well, right now, we're barely open 5 months. And we opened in October. October 7th was our opening day. And we are going to have a lot of activities in the future. We're going to have some dog training seminars. Dr. Newkirk's going to do a few seminars. We're going to try to have an activity at least once a month. And the children at Swift and Sleighball School got a grant, and they actually made agility equipment for the dogs. So that's a new feature that we have at the dog park, and they love it. They love jumping over things and going through the tunnels. It's great.
And I guess as the dog park progresses, there's probably different ideas keep coming up.
Yes.
Probably on what other things you can do.
Yes.
So it's really in its infancy,
Yes.
and there'll probably be so many activities out there as the future goes on. And I recommend that residents get, when you get an opportunity, to go out there and see what the facility offers.
We actually have a lot of upcoming volunteer opportunities. We just recently put a plea out for Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, any kind of group that wanted to come help us rake some of the leaves around the park. And a lot of people came out to help us with that. We're going to have that again in the spring. So there's all types of volunteer
Okay.
opportunities out there for everyone.
Very nice. It's very
Thank you.
informative, and I know a lot of our residents probably have not seen the dog park. Maybe they'll take advantage of coming out and seeing the beautiful facility
Yes.
and utilize it and join up. We're going to take a break now, Donna,
Okay.
and we'll come back in a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Frank.
Okay. Welcome back to the Mayor's Forum. My guest is Donna Burns, Chairwoman of the Friends of the Egg Harbor Township Dog Park. And I just wanted to, at this time, maybe Donna, is there any points that you would like to make out, maybe some of the difficulties that you encountered in coming up with this really beautiful, gorgeous dog park? Maybe give our audience some details of the process that you went through, because I don't know anyone that worked so hard to get something done, because it seemed like there was just continual roadblocks for you. It wasn't an easy task. It wasn't something that you just got the land, put some fencing around it, and there it was. There was lots and many different things that you had to constantly overcome in order to make it happen. So maybe you might want to share a little of that information with the our audience?
Well, Frank, like I said before, in 2009, when I thought about this great idea of an Egg Harbor Township dog park, I thought it would be really easy. I thought, I'll just knock on the door and ask the mayor, can we have some land? Can we put up a fence and have the dogs run around, and it would be great. It was so much more. I did so much research. I was actually attended many of the Ocean City Dog Park committee meetings to find out how they had their dog park constructed, what mistakes they made so I don't make the same mistakes, what they used for fencing, what they used for footing for the dogs, how they administrated the access to the park, what they used, what did you use, an access code, did you use a battery operated, was it electric? There was just so many things that we had to overcome before we actually put a shovel in the ground. And I had no idea, I've never done anything like this before. And it's just like building a home. I mean, you put the shovel in, but there's so much more that is involved than just putting a fence up. There's insurance involved, there's legal aspect of it that you have to be aware of. And it was...
Did you have to get an attorney?
We did. We did get an attorney.
And you probably had to get an accountant also.
We did not get an accountant, but we did get a lot of advice from an accountant.
Okay.
So we are a nonprofit organization. That's the very first thing that we did.
And that takes a little time.
That took time, yes. And all the funds in the beginning were my personal funds.
Is that right?
I paid for everything myself. All the applications, anything that needed to be done, I paid for myself.
Well, with your husband's full support,
Yes.
I guess.
Yes, he was a big supporter.
Was he?
He really
Okay.
was. He believed in it as much as I did.
Yeah.
We have two beautiful dogs. We do have a backyard. It's a small backyard, but we wanted to be able to take them somewhere where they could socialize. It's socialization of dogs is so important.
It definitely is, because that's the difference sometimes of having a friendly dog and
Yes.
a dog that reacts to a stranger.
Yes.
A bit socializing, especially when they're very young.
Yes, it makes a big difference. It was a very long process. I did a lot of homework. I did a lot of knocking on doors and asking for, can you donate this? Can you donate that? Can you donate the labor if you can't donate the product? And people were wonderful. I actually, when I first started this, was in touch with HGTV, and they were very interested in doing a segment on the dog park and how we were building the dog park, and offered to let us use one of their people that are on the shows to help us design the dog park.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, but as time went on, we lost that connection because it took so long.
How many dog parks are in our vicinity, in our area?
There's not a whole lot.
No.
There's one in Mays Landing, Cologne, I think, and but that is privately owned. And there's one in Brigantine. There's one in Margate, but that's only for Margate residents. So when I looked at it, I thought, we're going to be the very first dog park in Atlantic County.
And the size of our dog park, how's it compare to dog parks that you visited?
It's very comparable. I really tried to mimic as much as I could Ocean City because I thought they had such a great structure there. It's approximately 1 acre, and the large dog park is 90 by 200. The small dog park is 90 by 160. And then we have a run down the center, which is 15 by 90. And that's for dogs that maybe don't really play well with others, but still want to be off leash. And so you can go in there with your dog, throw the ball back and forth, and they won't interact with the other dogs.
And the timing of the dog park, when are you able to utilize the dog park?
It's open from dawn to dusk.
Okay.
7 days a week.
Okay. And have you had any challenges since you opened up the dog park?
Not really big challenges. A lot of people don't understand why they have to pay to come into the dog park.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that I like to talk about because of the fact that we are a 501c3. And the reason that there is a fee is because we are still responsible for the water on the property, and we're still responsible for paying, whatever maintenance that needs to be done. That all comes out of our funding, and that's why we have fundraisers and we have a fee to access the dog park.
Right, because it's not owned by the township.
Correct.
Township just offered the land,
Correct.
but it's maintained, paid for by your committee.
That's correct.
And
And as I said in the beginning, Frank, we did not want this to be a burden on the taxpayers.
right,
That was my main goal. We wanted to have something for the dogs in the town, but not at the taxpayers' cost. That's so
Right.
important.
yeah. And you mentioned that there's a small dog, large dog area.
Yes.
Maybe many of the people watching today don't quite understand what we mean by small dog part and large dog.
Well, the large dog would be any dog over 30 pounds, and the small dog park would be any dog under 30 pounds.
And there's two separate sections.
That's correct.
And they're like
And they're
separated by fencing.
Correct.
Right, okay. Donna, with all that dog park offers, can you tell me some of the activities that are there for the dogs?
Well, there's not a whole lot of activities for the dogs other than to socialize with other dogs. I mean, if you would stand outside the dog park and someone would drive up, you see the dogs, they start getting so excited. There are a lot of groups now that meet at a certain time. And like we have a group that meets at 1 o'clock. There's a group that meets at 4 o'clock. There's some that meet real early in the morning, like 7 o'clock. And they've become friends. I have a gentleman who's a widower say to me that he appreciated the dog park so much. He had just gotten himself a dog. His wife had passed away, and he was lonely. And he said he has made so many friends from joining the dog park. That's his social
That's
life
good.
now.
That is really
That
good.
just really made me feel great.
So you meet people.
Yes.
Because a lot of times when you're living in a community as large as Egg Harbor Township, unless you're going to the fire company dinners or going
Yes.
to the ball fields, you don't even get to know your neighbors.
Yes.
The dog park is a perfect place
It's
to
great.
get to meet people and socialize with people and have similar
Yes.
ideas, a love for dogs.
Yes, and we've had a lot of support from the businesses in town. We had some businesses that have literally, my phone was ringing off the hook when we posted that we were going to have the grand opening. They wanted to help us. We had people that volunteered to spread the sand when we got the sand. We had some of the sand donated. The sign, the Egg Harbor Township Dog Park sign was donated.
You must have twisted a few arms.
Um,
No, you're too nice. You're too nice to twist a few arms.
but I was just very grateful that everybody came together and
Yeah.
really wanted to give.
No, it was fantastic.
Yes.
It really is. I was there for the grand opening, and there were so many people that were so proud of that
Yes.
dog park, and because they put a lot of sweat and tears and
Yes.
everything in order to make it happen. 'Cause
Whenever we have a fundraiser, I always say to them, thank you. Your dog park is wonderful.
Right.
You own this dog park. They paid for it. All their donations paid for that park.
yes, and it came out, it's first class.
Thank you.
It's a first class dog park.
Thank you.
How does someone go about joining the dog park?
Well, we have a website. It's called eggharbortownshipdogpark.com. It's EHTdogpark.com. If you go on that site, we're in the process of developing a new website, but the old one is still up. And the forms are right on the site. You can download them and then email me at dburns054@gmail.com. I will contact you. We will meet you at the dog park, and that's it.
Would you repeat those numbers so people get a chance to write them down?
Okay, it's EHTdogpark.com is the website. My email address is dburns054@gmail.com.
Great. Okay.
And if you email me, I will give you all the information, and we'll meet you at the dog park.
Okay. When joining the dog park, what do you do? What access does it give you?
It gives you access to the dog park, like I said, 365 days a year. The fee is $40, which is really cheap for the year, and it renews every year.
Okay. What rules do you have at the dog park? That's a good one.
We actually have a lot of rules.
Okay.
We take this park very seriously. We want everyone to be safe. We want everyone to enjoy themselves. So there are a lot of rules. In fact, there's too many for me to even go through with you.
Are they like posted or?
They are posted. When you join the dog park, you get a list of the rules. They're posted on the front of the entrance of the dog park.
And the rules are probably for the safety of the dogs.
That's correct.
And also the cleanliness of the dog park.
That's correct.
Yeah. So, well, maybe you can mention some of the probably the more important rules. You don't have to go through the whole list of rules, but some of the things that you want your membership to follow.
Okay. One of the main rules is you have to pick up after your dog. We provide
Right. Oh,
dog
yeah,
bags.
That's important.
There's dog bags there. They're free. You know, you have to pick up after your dogs. And believe me, if you don't and you're there with someone else,
Someone else will tell you.
They will tell you
Yeah.
because they don't want the dog park to be dirty.
No.
And I have not only 12 committee members, but I also have volunteers. And we police the area. Some people don't know that they're part of our volunteer group, just to make sure people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. In other words, you know, if you see someone that has a small dog and they're bringing them into the large dog park, someone will say something to you.
Right.
You know, and we get some people to say, oh, my dog loves big dogs. Well, guess what? Your dog doesn't know all these dogs, so it could be dangerous for your dog.
Right.
So you have to be very careful. We talk about the fact that when you take your dog into the off-leash area, you have to take him in there without a leash. Because if you try to take your dog into the dog park with the leash on, it makes him vulnerable to other dogs.
Oh.
So we have a holding area. You walk into the holding area and you take off the leash, then you open the gate and you let them go in the respective areas.
Oh, good.
Yes.
This is really well thought out.
Yes, it's
It
very.
really is.
We don't accept any dogs under 6 months old. All dogs have to be vaccinated. They have to be registered with the township, and we have to show proof of rabies shot when you want to join the dog park. We have to physically see that your dog's been vaccinated.
Wow, that's very good.
Yes.
That's, I think a lot of people like to know
Yes.
what it's really about, and they probably are asking themselves those kind of questions
Yes.
that you just
Yes.
explained. Besides those membership fees, how else does the dog park raise fund? I think you mentioned fundraising. Was there anything else that you might be doing in the future?
Well, one of the things right now that we have are the bricks, the memorial bricks,
Right,
which I
that's
told you
right,
about.
yeah.
That's going to be an ongoing project. We have plenty of space to have the bricks. We also have business sign sponsorships. And we have a lot around the park now, and people are welcome to advertise their business at the park. And we also have, Saturday, we just had a big fundraiser. It's called Pancakes for Puppies at Applebee's in Mays Landing.
Right.
And that was a big success. In June, we'll have a dog walk, and that's another fundraiser. All this money that we raise,
When you do a dog walk, what's a dog walk like?
basically you just, we have a few activities for kids there. We have a few activities for dogs. Last year we had dogs were able to get their footprint. We put their print in some paint and put it on a paper and sign their name. And it's washable paint. It's stuff that kids can use. We did a toss where we have this big gigantic dog face and you throw a beanbag through and you can win a prize.
Yeah.
Kids love that. We had all kinds of different things. And the dogs basically walk around the perimeter of Bargaintown Park with their owners. And it's just literally a function for dogs. People love to go to activities for their dogs.
Yeah. Well, a dog is definitely a family member.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, my wife has to choose between me and the dog. I know I'm not going to pose that question, okay? Because I know what the answer is going to be.
Yes, yes.
Okay. She talks to the dog more than she talks to me. But,
Probably just seems that way.
If someone wanted to donate to the dog park to help, how would they go about doing that?
Once again, you could go to our website at ehtdogpark.com. There's a form there. You could submit a form. The form comes directly to me.
Okay.
And we love volunteers. We relish the fact that people
Oh,
want to
yeah.
help us.
The larger the committee, the easier it becomes as far as handling. You can
Yes.
delegate different things.
They don't even have to be on the committee. I know the committee is a big commitment. We meet once a month, and there's a lot of things that we do. But you could just be a volunteer and just, send me an email, say, what do you need me to do? What can I do to help?
How often do you get a phone call or an email a day or a week? How many times do someone calls you about the dog park as far as gathering information or
Every day.
anything? Every day?
Every day I get emails, every day. And I feel bad sometimes because I get so many. I'll answer people twice. And I'll say, I'm sorry, I wanted to make sure that I got back to you. And they said, oh, you did. You got back to me. And I just said, okay, I just wanted to be sure.
Is it both people that are interested in joining?
Yes.
Is that the
Yes,
main
and volunteer.
inquiry? And volunteering?
Right now I'm getting a lot of calls for the sponsorship signs. People want to put their business signs up.
Oh, okay.
So that's nice.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
What types of other benefits have you seen since the dog park was open?
Seem to really genuinely appreciate it. And I was overwhelmed by the fact that this was bigger than I thought it was going to be. I guess I was a little selfish when I wanted to open this dog park for my dogs also. But it just seems like there were so many people out there, and they're coming every single day.
Oh, that is fantastic. So it's been a huge success.
It really has. When we had that large snowstorm,
Right?
I actually got phone calls, and they said, we can't get into the dog park. And I
Wow.
said,
We can plow that.
you can't get in because we can't open the gates because it's full of snow. But they were there.
Wow.
They parked out in the street and walked their dogs over. They wanted in the dog park when it was snowing.
That's a fantastic story.
That's-
it really is. It's
yes.
Just the how many people depend upon the
Yes.
dog park now.
Yes.
Well, thank you for being here, Donna. That was a great informational day
Here.
on the dog. I hope the residents have dogs look into the park as an option because I think they would really will enjoy it, and it'll be an opportunity for the dogs to be socialized, which is very important.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Frank. I
Okay.
appreciate you
Thank
having
you,
me.
Donna. If our viewers have a topic of discussion or a person you would like to be interviewed, please contact us at the Mayor's Forum at 926-4044. Thank you for joining us today.